Hello everybody and welcome to today's tips and tricks video. Today I'm going to be talking about the disguiser role, a role that can take the identity of any person who dies the night before, as long as you choose them to disguise as on that night. Now, I know what you're thinking. Basically, but Magna, that's really easy. There's no strategy to that at all. You just take them over and start saying, oh, hold on, this other guy's the Mafia, from what I was saying earlier. Well, it's not that easy, I'm afraid. There are quite a number of troubles that the disguiser comes across, most of which will end in his death. So now I'm going to go along the problems that the disguiser may face. First and foremost, the biggest problem ever for disguisers is people's wills. If a disguiser is known in the game, then unless they're really stupid, the entire town will put in the wills what their name is. Now see, when you disguise as somebody, the person who you were will basically die. However, he will maintain the will and the identity of the person you've just disguised as. So a tactic that's come up recently is that everybody who is innocent will put their name into their will and say, if I'm dead, if say I'm still alive, then they're the disguiser. And then the next day the disguiser gets lynched because the town know because they've read the will. This is extremely bad for you, because it means you can't disguise properly, and with the intention of misleading the town, because you'll get lynched immediately. So how do you get around that? Well, there's a simple way. For Mafia, if you have a janitor on your team, if he cleans the person you're killing, he'll instead clean who you used to be, meaning their will can't be read by the town, meaning you'll have a successful disguising. Sadly, in very few games there's a janitor and a disguiser together. So there are other ways around it as well. For instance, if you were to attack a witch or a jester instead, they're very unlikely to have put it in the will who they were, because, well, basically they're not trying to help the town. I've seen some witches do it, but they're stupid and there's very few of them. So let's assume that you've disguised properly. Say the town doesn't know who that person was, and they've been disregarded as whatever they were. Then how do you stop yourself from being lynched or figured out from there on? Well, that's when the true skills of being a disguiser come into play. You're going to have to act as that person. Hopefully whoever you disguised wasn't a noisy person, because if he was quiet, you can sort of just stay quiet yourself and ride it out. Maybe speak up if you found something, well, found in quotation marks, something, about another person and getting them lynched, and then disguising the next day onwards. So what I would say right now is that when you're a disguiser, be prepared to disguise every single night afterwards. Because once you've disguised once, the chase is on. Mediums, lookouts, investigators, all of them are going to be on your back. They may not know that there's a disguiser about, however, you're going to be having to deal with them quite quickly. An investigator will immediately say that you are a disguiser or a jester. Now, you can use this to your advantage by faking jester. Don't worry about that. If it's available on the roll list, fake it. Just stop them from lynching you for one more turn and disguise again. Something that can easily throw people off is that if somebody dies from, say, the serial killer or the arsonist, and you disguise as them, and you know it's going to happen by pure guessing or elimination, you can disguise as them. This is very good for you because nobody will suspect a disguiser to have taken off the body of somebody who was killed by the serial killer. So that's really good too. It's also possible to do it from somebody who's been killed by the jester, or even a vigilante. So, yeah, if you know somebody's going to kill somebody, say in chat they go, I'm going to kill you, or I'm not too sure on this, but if somebody says the jailer's going to kill me the next night, it may work, but that's going to put the jailer right onto you. It would be funny, just to the jailer just run around confused. because then the rest of the mafia can tell who he is and kill him on the night after. Sadly, you'll still get executed by that jailer. In fact, actually, no, you won't be executed by that jailer if he killed an innocent. So, pretty much, what you can do from there on is use the jailer's aggressiveness from failing to kill whoever he wanted to kill, and knowing that you're a disguise to your advantage, and call him an executioner, or even a member of the mafia trying to lynch an innocent town member. Remember, the most aggressive people are the easiest to convince the rest of the town that they're trying to get you killed because you're innocent. Okay, other problems you may face. One of the biggest issues for a disguiser is a spy. See, the spy can know if people visit anybody, really. They'll know who they visited and what happens after. So, say you and your godfather both target Billy, however, Sandra dies instead, then he's going to know that the two mafia targeted them and then just disappeared. Whoever they targeted isn't dead, but somebody else is. So, logically, the spy will conclude that the mafia targeted Billy, however, Sandra died. Therefore, Sandra is now Billy because two mafia targeted him. Because it will say the mafia killed Sandra, which is a lie in the spy's eyes, and he'll try and out you because of that. That is one of the key problems with the disguiser role working effectively, so maybe try and wait for the spy to die before you try to do that. Lookouts can do the same thing on a lesser degree, because they have to actually look at the person who you're both targeting, but there can still be a problem and can still do that, so maybe it's best to wait for both of them to die. I think it might be a good idea. Another thorn in your side will be the transporter and quite possibly the witch, as both have the ability to stop you from disguising as who you want to disguise as. The good point to this is that once that's over, you can still masquerade as innocent. So you can keep your remaining disguises and wait out the annoying classes that are trying to stop you. One way around this is to simply ask the Godfather to put in his death note to just say, "Witch, stop targeting my disguiser," if he's done it repeatedly. Because the witch is supposed to be on your side, and it's not very good for them to be just making you waste your disguises, really. It's not beneficial to their class, so hopefully they'll stop unless they're a real troll. Really depends on the psychology of the person, I think. But if you can work that out, then you can get the desired result easily. One problem I've seen a lot with disguises is when the person was generally calm, collected, and used proper grammar before, and suddenly turns into a no capitals, yelling, "Lynch this guy, he is mafia," aggressor, is an easy way to get, noticed as a disguiser. So you really don't want to do that. You need to make sure you keep within the confines of the person you're masquerading as. You can't suddenly turn from a, nice town member into an utter troll. It's just gonna get you lynched. So please don't do that. Finally, I'm just going to say right now, don't expect to live. The disguiser's role is to spread as much confusion throughout the town as possible throughout the start and mid of the game. Don't ever expect to live to the end unless you're really lucky. The disguiser is not a role that is there to win with the mafia, but win as the mafia once the game is over. Again, mediums can be trouble. One thing I haven't actually pointed out in my videos yet is that often mediums will try and contact the mafia. They'll basically try to get you to give up your teammates. Now, you can't do that. However, you can sort of mislead them into lynching somebody else. Tell them that another member of the town is bad. Or say that somebody else is the serial killer, we know because he was immune. If you actually do know that information, do it. But if you don't, you can use it to get a town member lynched. Remember, any medium that contacts you is desperate, and will probably go with whatever you say. So that's a good idea for the Mafia as a disguiser. And any other class that's really a guide. Finally, I'm just going to make a point about disguising as unique roles. Say if the mayor has revealed themselves already, or the jailer's just said, I'm the jailer, and told lots of people, and you've disguised as them, there can only be one of them, and it will show up on their dead body as being the mayor or jailer, or retributionist, whatever. You'll get lynched immediately, because they know that that person was that. Again, you can work with the janitor to get round this. You can even masquerade as a mayor. That is one of the best things a disguiser can do, because once the mayor's revealed, they can't reveal again. Even though your vote will only count as one vote, as long as you don't vote, people will consider you the mayor and will leave you alone, as long as you work with the janitor. Therefore, that's a tactic you should really exploit. You should always exploit that tactic. It's one of the best tactics for disguiser to do. Just stay close to the janitor and make sure he helps you along with that. Okay, I think that's everything I wanted to talk about today. So, hope you're all alright. And happy lynchings, guys. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.